Pointing fingers at the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagaland, AIIMS faction says BJP's ideological parent interference in the political dialogues stalled the peace talks. And AIIMS further calls RSS manifesto collides with a framework agreement. With a few months left for state election, ruling Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party and Bharatiya Janata Party decide to continue alliance for upcoming polls. Both parties confirmed to continue with the 40-20 seat sharing formula like the 2018 assembly elections. Over delay in elections of urban local bodies, Janata Dal United Nagaland unit urges the state government to immediately announce a date and conduct elections. JDU further challenges Rio government to hold ULB polls before 2023 to check ground reality. A day after 19 opposition Rajya Sabha MPs suspended for allegedly disrupting proceedings during Monsoon session, Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh suspended on Wednesday for reckless behavior. The MP is believed to have shouted slogans, tore papers and threw them over the chair in the upper house. Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi faced ED grilling for 3 hours during the third round of questioning in connection with the National Herald case. Meanwhile, Congress workers protest at the AICC headquarters in Delhi against the questioning of the party's interim president by the Enforcement Directorate. Hello, Chipen Kung here, bringing to you the English prime time. Let's look at the stories in detail. Once again, the latest salvo fired by the NSC and AIIMS towards the centre has put the entire Naga political solution into a conundrum. In its recent statement, the NSC and AIIMS has targeted the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh for being the reason behind the delay in resolving the issue. According to AIIMS-led Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagaland, the Naga peace talks have stalled because of objections raised by the RSS, the ideological parent body of the Bharatiya Janata Party, on the issues of a separate constitution and flag. In its statement issued on Monday, the group stated that the matter could have been resolved long ago, but the RSS factor came in between. It went on to say that RSS raised questions regarding 2 flags and 2 constitutions under one nation. So actual point of delay started as the manifesto of the RSS Hindutva sharply contradicted the principal agreement of the framework agreement that was inked in 2015. It is worth mentioning that on past several occasions, the NSC and AIIMS has categorically said that a solution without recognizing the Naga flag and constitution would be unacceptable to both the rebel group and the Naga people. And with the state assembly elections barely a few months away from now, in major political development, the ruling Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party have decided to jointly contest in the upcoming polls, which is slated for early 2023. Issuing a joint statement, both the parties confirmed that they would continue the 40-20 seat sharing formula like the previous 2018 assembly elections. The development came after the Chief Minister Nipio Rio met Union Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP National President Jagat Prakash Nadda in New Delhi on Tuesday. Meanwhile, NTPB will contest in 40 seats and the BJP will contest in 20 seats. Notably, NTPB-BJP alliance in Nagaland was formed in 2018, wherein the 2 parties contested in the assembly elections on 40-20 ratio, following which the pre-poll alliance won the mandate of the people to form the government on March 8, 2018.
पार्टी और एनडीडीपी का साथ नागालैंड ये गठबंधन का ऐलान है। नागालैंड में एनडीडीपी will contest 40 seats, BJP will contest for 20 seats. It is the same announcement of that.
Over the delay in elections of urban local bodies, the Janata Dal United Nagaland unit has urged the state government to immediately announce the date and conduct elections to the local bodies. Expressing dismay over the state government's inability to hold election to local bodies despite being reprimanded by the Supreme Court of the country, the party in its press statement said that the opportunity for local self-governance is a constitutional right for the people at large. And shying away from such obligation raises a doubt on the credibility of the government. Lamenting the apathy of a real government, JDU attacked the government by saying that it has no cards to face public at local level, only because the fear of losing and suffer humiliation. The party also challenged the real government to hold the election before the upcoming legislative elections, considering it is the acid taste, and to identify the ground reality. Several civic bodies in the state has demanded upon the state government to conduct the urban local bodies election at the earliest possible deadline. The Dimapur Urban Council Chairman Federation, Association of the Kohima Municipal Wards Panchayat and all wards in Monsoon town reprised upon a joint representation to the Chief Minister, calling it as an infringement upon Article 371A of the due rectification and amendment of Nagaland Municipal Act. The free civic bodies call the delay in holding the election as harmful on the rights of the Naga community. As a dream and voice for clean election amplify in Nagaland, a well-known social activist based in Dimapur, GB Gaudo Chishisumi, iterated that without clean candidates, there will be no clean election in Nagaland. Chishisumi, while interacting with Nltv, commented that there has been no clean candidate in Nagaland up until now. He went on to comment that during elections, candidates go around distributing money and that it is not only the voters who are to be blamed. Chishisumi stated that many voters do not ask for money. However, candidates compel them to receive. And if any person refuses to take money, candidates become worried and restless, thinking that the person would vote for another candidate. GB Gaudo Chishisumi further challenged the concept of clean election in Nagaland. He commented that the public take money from candidates as they are aware they will be looted by the same candidates for the next 5 years.
Nothing very extraordinary, na. Because biya kaam kore aise to matya aise to na. So Nagaland government per explain kore bola ye. Then they can ask na tanu demand koro bari give us money for sewage treatment plant. Na. Only I get khai ke na aise bole to second time maingwa na pare wo na. To the problem bhi tha ye wo. I'm not very certain, okay, whether it was approved or not. Na, already itu project tu thakise de. To manu town expand kore ase, aur itu punji jaise. Aur why Dimapur ke liye sob ahi bole mon na.
As per the National Family Health Survey's facts have revealed that Nagaland stands way above the national average when it comes to alcohol consumption. The scenario is alarming. While speaking on this prevailing situation in Nagaland, Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989, in an exclusive interview with Nltv, GB Gaudo Chishisumi opined that it is almost next to impossible to ban sale or consumption of alcohol within the state. Despite the prominence of the tech Nagaland for Christ, however, the society and administration can play a significant role to curb down the alcohol and drug consumption. The GB further pointed fingers at the Nagaland Baptist Church Council for allegedly running their propaganda in the name of Christianity and turning it into paid agents of liquor sellers. Further, he expressed disappointment of civil society's lackluster approach to bring down the consumption rate. On the issue of destruction of seized items, Chishi opined that such actions only helps in destroying evidences instead of nabbing the culprit. He lamented that the Naga people for sticking to some old notions and their reluctance to advance with the time has led to the society going backwards.
Itu nasalar cheese tu. Itu kita be bon guru na pare. Itu dunia ti control i pare de. And control in two senses. Society, prabi na, and administration, government pra. To India blindly born kurese itu area di na Nagaland di Nltv na. This itu kan to populist measure ko ide in the sense iku difference nai. Halebi manula na monti na kiba Koreanis na to main tu moi agi di be accuse kurese ite be accuse kurese NBCC Nagaland Baptist Church Council ta kan to Christianity to follow no gure Christianity principle na trolai halebi manu ke dekhabo lagi ro tanu Christian ase koi na tanu bhal kam kure ase koi na to takan itu NLTV to prohibition to takani driving force ase. Or they are paid agents na of bootleggers na mudu bika kan wholesaler kan itu kan paid agent di hoi jase itu agiri bu mai kiss kure se ite bi mai kiss kure ase na to itu dibu par council kan bra koran nole colony ekta boss ekta pointless ase these are just na public like imagination dori bole na in the first place takan they don't have legal authority tandu kali report hi koro pare bodo nole manula gode jaigina na kota mudu kan ulai digena destroy itu ta authority na ide itu age dibi DNSU la kota di mo koisu itu DNSU kan arrest kurba at that time na check geti boy gena gari rokhai gena na saman whether is legal or illegal na sis kurian destroy ro na pare do because that's destruction of evidence na case na thagi bodo to itu nis na kwa le to naga manu to mogandu moi kalebi to demamor de na ti interview ekta je kwanis na mogana mogos na.
When it comes to employment scenario, Nagaland is languishing as one of the bottom-ranked state in the nation with low employment percentage. Speaking on the same, GP Kauro Chishisumi lamented on the narrowed idea about employment amongst the youth, who consider government jobs as the secure source of dignity and income, commenting on the system of education which needs to be reformed with the changing trend of skills to meet the employability demands. The GB said current education system played a role as the major catalyst for unemployment in the state. The GB frowned on the need for young youth to try understanding the purpose of education in their lives and lead not a lavish life based off the hard earnings of their parents. Sami was also of the opinion that wrongful central fund consumption by the political figures of state government meant for public welfare projects decries the pool of unemployment or the pool of rather employment opportunities as well.
Naga manu kan la mogan la definition of employment na bishin narrow as de mogan lo kale government service babe. Employment means if you open a pan shop pan digane ta khole self employed as do na unemployed no do na apni hazaro kurle di bi self employed as na so employment encompasses all manner of work te kheti kurle bi employment as do farmer as do na mistri kurle bi na mason, carpenter, na so all this problem to more on a system of education. Le moi itu 3-4 student organization kan bram moi ke mataram ti na moi do likha bi likise the purpose of education.
I would like to interview apni te kwanis na education sector te itu question bi bisi time moi alag politician bi hudi asuli bi ekta bhal feedback na panis na feel kore moi bi as a journalist moi bi hudu bole mon thaka do. Do you really think apni bhabna ase amihanla educational system is at that level mohange education law bishida man sure ase inka pawo no helebi job khan pawo inka no gine kinga ase amihanla education system apni da bhabna do kinka.
In a proud moment for the state, 17 schools from the state-managed Dupak Swatch Vidyalaya Puraskar on Wednesday. Out of these 17 schools, 7 are government schools and the remaining 10 are private schools. In addition, the state-level felicitation program took place at the Directorate of School Education by Advisor School Education and CERT Katie Sugalo at the state level. While Sugalo was invited as the special guest, the Secretary School Education Lima Wapang Jamir also graced the occasion. Speaking at the occasion as special guest, Sugalo said, "Unless our infrastructure is as good in school, we cannot expect the enrollment." Meanwhile, he also urged concerned officers to do regular checks of both private and government schools. Meanwhile, Jamir highlighted that the purpose of the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar is to honor and award those schools who have undertaken exemplary work in the field of water, sanitation and hygiene, and which also provide a benchmark and a roadmap for schools to make further improvements in the future.
With the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar, we are coming down to the level of the children, the students, to develop a habit of cleanliness. And I'm grateful, and I would like to congratulate the schools that have done very well. We need to educate our society. So much good schemes are being initiated by the India government under the able leadership of our Prime Minister. Similarly, the state under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Nltv, we are trying our best to stretch out to every nook and corner of the state. But this habit of ours, the schemes that is being given, it is not just a scheme. We need to educate our community. And I'm grateful that the schools that are setting examples in our state will percolate down to all other schools so that the children who are studying in your schools can learn and see how they have to.
With the detection of African swine fever in various parts of Kohima, Deputy Commissioner Shanavas C. banned slaughter, transportation, import and export of pigs and piglets at infected and surveillance zones, notably Sharava demarcated Kuzama and 1 kilometer radius as infected zone and areas within 10 kilometers radius from the infected premises as surveillance zone. In addition, Chitama village and 1 kilometer radius of infected premises has also been notified as infected zone and areas within 10 kilometer radius as surveillance zone. With the resurgence of COVID-19 cases in the country, wearing of face mask is set to be compulsory in public places and markets in Newland district. Deputy Commissioner Saraz Jamir issued an advisory and directed all shop owners under Newland to arrange facilities for hand sanitization of their shop premises. Notably, Newland has a low percentage of COVID-19 vaccination, for which the public have been advised to get vaccinated or receive booster dose from the Community Health Center Newland. Furthermore, DC urged all to observe COVID-19 appropriate behavior and to ensure social distancing at all public gatherings. The monsoon season across the state has created a daunting impact on the environment, and normalcy of life halted. In one such incident on Tuesday, about 100-meter-long road leading to Sitikema Basa village from Sotsulo village has been washed away by a strong current of Chada River under Chumukudima district. In a press release, the Global Open University Nagaland Vice Chancellor Dr. Echen Data informed that all public communications have been disrupted following the snapping of road connectivity. Dr. Data said the university has permitted passage through the campus to Sitikama Basa villagers and others after they approached the university. According to data, the eastern point of the university has also been affected by erosion, which has removed the underground soil of its boundary wall, threatening further damages to the university building, which accommodates the hotel management department. Matri Foundation, one of the organizations engaged in the welfare of society, especially for upliftment of women in Dimapur, conducted a program on menstrual hygiene and held sanitary pad distributions at Perma Camp Colony. Speaking on the occasion, the founder, Switi Bishwas, highlighted on the plight and need for better hygiene care and maintenance, stating the core focus of the foundation would remain same in the future course of time. For the welfare aimed at women folk, as many as 100 numbers of sanitary pads were distributed as part of the event.
আজি মখান তো এতে মাতৃ ফাউন্ডেশন পৰা বর্মা কেম্প দে হাইনা আছে তো এতে আহাতো মেইনলি মাতৃ ফাউন্ডেশন মাইকি খান এনজিও আছে এটো তো মাইকি খান কে কিমান পারব মখান ইমান ডাঙৰ সাপোর্ট কৰো না পারলে বি ছোট মটো হইলে বি সাপোর্ট করবলে ট্রাই তো করে তো আজি মখান আহাতো স্যানিটারি প্যাডস লৈ কিনা আহি আছে এজ সব মানুখান জানি আছে মখান মাইকি মানুখান এভরি মান্থ তে একটা পিরিস নিশানা তো এটো তো যাই তো না তো এটো কারণে মখান তো এটো ইউজ করব কারণে ফ্রি দে তেহানকে সার্ভিস দিব কারণে তেহানকে দি কিনা আছে তো পারা তো মখান আহা ডিস দিবি আইনা প্রোভাইড করবলে ট্রাই করব কিমান তো পারিব নেক্সট লেভেল দিবি আইনা ট্রাই করব তো আজি তো মখান 80 to 100 এরাউন্ডস আনি কেনা মখান তো ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন করে আছে এতে বার্মা কেম্পতে তো এটো থাকিছিলে এন্ড মাইকি খান মেইন এটো প্রবলেম থাকা তো এটো পৰা বেশি কিসম আলাগ
The Tionsang Mon Road has been temporarily blocked for all communication. Notably, a massive landslide that occurred on July 25 damaged Aoyung Bailey Bridge, 18 kilometers along Tionsang Mon Road, upon which Tionsang Deputy Commissioner Kumar Ramnikant informed that restoration work was underway and further directed all vehicles to take alternative routes in the intervening period. Meanwhile, DC also informed that repairing of Sangchen Longpang Road is in progress to make the road pliable for light motor vehicles. The first women-only Gram Sabha initiated by Gram Panchayat was conducted on July 23 at Ripim Old Village Council Hall, Waka. According to DIPR report, the program was initiated to achieve holistic and sustainable development through institutional strengthening of Gram Panchayats and enablement of quality GBDP across India. Coordinated by the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Ministry of Rural Development in convergence with other department, Health Department, Sakhi One Stop Center and NRLM. The resource person for the Gram Sabha were Center Administrator Sakhi One Stop Center Woka Renteng Lokikon, Community Health Center Changsi HWC Premi E Azung and Area Coordinator SIST BMMU Woka Edge Wopiomo. During the program, Kikon spoke on the services provided by Sakhi One Stop Center, and Azung described different schemes and programs for mothers and pregnant women, while Wopiomo gave a detailed session on SHGs and their loan facilities. A day of the 19 MPs of opposition parties were suspended from the Monsoon session of the Parliament for allegedly disrupting proceedings of the House. Rajya Sabha MP, Aam Aadmi Party Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh was suspended on Wednesday for reckless behavior. The MP is believed to have shouted slogans, tore papers and threw them over the chair. Prior to the suspension, Singh had raised the issue of death due to intake of spurious liquor in the state of Gujarat, which has recorded about 40 deaths toll. Soon after the House met for question hour at 12 noon, Rule 256 was imposed and held Singh responsible for refusal to acknowledge rules and authority of the chair, which compelled Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs V. Muralidharan to suspend Singh from the House for the remainder of the week.
Those in favor will please say aye.
On Wednesday, Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi appeared before the Enforcement Directorate for the third round of questioning in the National Herald money laundering case. The Enforcement Directorate questioned Sonia Gandhi for over 3 hours on the third day of her deposition in the money laundering case. As of now, no fresh summons has been issued to Sonia Gandhi. She won't be called in for questioning until the ED issues summons to her again. Earlier, she reached the federal agency's office in central Delhi around 11 a.m., accompanied by her daughter Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Before Wednesday, the 75-year-old Gandhi had been questioned for over 8 hours, where she faced close to 65 to 70 questions. As of now, the questioning has unexpectedly ended, with the agency putting across a set of another 30-40 questions to Gandhi. In retaliation against the questioning of Sonia Gandhi, Congress workers staged a protest at AICC headquarters in Delhi and also tried to stop a train at Mumbai's Borivali railway station. Condemning the agency's action, Congress called it a political vendetta and a political tool of the Modi government.
और राज्यसभा में 19 लोग, अब और एक हो गया 20 लोग। तो जो सस्पेंशन ऑर्डर इश्यू था, तो उसका विड्रॉ करने के लिए मैंने नोटिस दिया था रूल 256 सब क्रॉस 2 के तहत। तो वो यही कहता है कि सस्पेंड अगर 256 में होता है तो रिवोकेशन 2562 में होता है। तो इसीलिए मैं चेयरमैन से भी मिला, मैं हमारे वेणुगोपाल जी और हमारे जयराम रमेश जी और दूसरे साथी भी थे और अपोजिशन के फ्लोर लीडर्स भी वहाँ पर थे। हमने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट यही किया कि आप जो सस्पेंड किए ये अच्छा नहीं है, डेमोक्रेसी।
In view of surge in illegal and immoral activities in and around Sovima village area, the village council, in a meeting that took place on July 22nd, adopted some resolutions in order to prevent the image of Sovima village from being targeted. In its statement, the village council mentioned that the council has decided that if anyone is found guilty of selling psychotropic drugs within its jurisdiction, they will be fined and expelled from the village. Furthermore, the land registration of the property will be cancelled and the council will take the property into its possession and shall be liable to depose the same. Similar actions will be taken for those who are engaged in selling Indian-made foreign liquor as well. Furthermore, the village council asked the landlords or the house owners to keep a track record of their tenants with all the relevant documents such as photos, contact details, Aadhaar cards, voter ID cards. Copies need to be furnished to the village council within 30 days to monitor the situation. Village youth will be provided valid ID cards and shall be engaged for patrolling duty. Furthermore, to safeguard all business establishments from illegal taxations, the village council has decided to trade or to issue trade licenses. Minister of State for Home Nityanand Rai, while addressing Rajya Sabha on Wednesday, informed that the centre has decided to fill up 84,405 vacancies in the Central Armed Police Forces by December 2023. Minister Rai also informed that examinations for filling up of 25,271 vacancies of Constable for General Duty was already held. As per data shared by MOS, altogether there are 84,405 vacant posts in CAPFs, including 9,659 in Assam Rifles, 19,254 in Border Security Force, 10,918 in Central Industrial Security Force, 29,985 in Central Reserve Police Force, 3,187 in Indo-Tibetan Border Police, and 11,402 in Shashatra Simapal. Minister Rai also stated that Centre is initiating various steps for filling up vacant posts in CAPFs. Minister Rai went on to mention that for recruitment of Constable General Duty, a memorandum of understanding has been signed with the Staff Selection Commission. The minister further informed that to coordinate in the recruitment for general duty posts, nodal force has been nominated on long-term basis. Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles have also been directed to fill up vacancies of non-generally duty cadres on a time-bound manner. Minister also highlighted on timely conduct of meetings by Departmental Promotion Committee for filling up promotional vacancies. Speaking on the occasion of 25 years of Didakar Wagons Limited celebrations on Wednesday, Mamata Banerjee predicted that BJP will not come to power in 2024 and cited rising unemployment in India for her statement. In addition, she mentioned that while there is increasing unemployment throughout the country, but in her own state it has decreased by 45%. Furthermore, she denounced the media trial of ongoing SSC scam. At the same time, she accused the media for running a kangaroo court and called out the media for interfering in legal proceedings of the Kolkata High Court. Meanwhile, in a shocking disclosure to Enforcement Department, Arpita Mukherjee, who has been arrested in the SSC scam, stated that Minister Partha Chatterjee used her house as a mini bank.
In economy, our GSDP has grown up by 3.5 times. Revenues grew by almost 4 times. Total budget allocation increasing 3.5 times. Capital expenditure in budgetary by 9 times. Our positive growth during the pandemic time even plus 1.2, which while India's GDP posted.
Acting upon the call of Enforcement Department, TMC MLA Monik Bhattacharya appeared before the department on Wednesday. This comes after the West Bengal Minister and former Education Minister of the state, Partha Chatterjee, and his close aide, Arpita Mukherjee, were arrested in SSC scam case. Earlier in the month of June, the Kolkata High Court had ordered the immediate removal of TMC MLA Monik Bhattacharya from the post of the chairman of the Board of Primary Education on grounds of submitting false documents and irregularities in a recruitment corruption case. Former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, on Wednesday condemned the Indian government's move of barring Kashmiri journalist Akash Hassan from traveling to Sri Lanka to cover the ongoing crisis of the country. Furthermore, she called out the government for trying to crush the backbone of journalism, the fourth pillar of democracy. In addition, she called the Indian government as intolerant towards truth. Expressing anger over the murder of BJP Yuva Morcha worker Praveen Nidaru, the protesters took to the streets to protest the killing. In Bellary, Dakshina Kannada, protesters jolted the car of Dakshina Kannada MP Nalin Kumar Katil. Furthermore, incidents of stone pelting at government buses were reported from some places. In addition, a bus flying from Puttur to Mangalore was damaged in the stone pelting incident at Polwa. Meanwhile, police had to resort to lathi charge to disperse the protesters. In the meantime, the BJP has called for a band in Puttur, Gadaba and Sulia Taluk on Wednesday in protest against the murder. A parliamentary panel threw the report on role of autonomous bodies on educational institutions, including central universities, engineering colleges, AIIMS, IITs, medical institutes, Navodaya Vidyalays, and Kendriya Vidyalay in socio-economic development of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, with special reference to implementation of reservation policy in the AIIMS has put to the foretask that junior resident doctors belonging to SC and ST denominations who have worked for a number of years on ad hoc basis at All India Institute of Medical Sciences were not selected at the time of filling of regular vacancies by the statement of the institute stating no candidates were found suitably fit for induction. On the issue, the Parliamentary Committee on Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes in its report mentioned that out of total 1,111 faculty positions, there are vacancies of 275 assistant professors and 92 professors at AIIMS. The panel alleged that in spite of proper eligibility, competence, who are fully experienced, SC and ST experience were not allowed to be inducted as faculty members even at the initial stage at the country's premier medical college. The committee has sought all existing vacant faculty positions to be filled within the next 3 months, seeking an action plan within the same time frame for the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The panel said in future, after filling up all the existing vacant positions, no faculty seat should be reserved for SC/ST, shall be kept vacant for more than 6 months under any circumstances. The panel further noted that the overall percentage of admission of SCs and STs in MBBS and other undergraduate courses and postgraduate courses in various AIIMS fell below required level of 15% for SC and 7.5% for ST. Wednesday marked the 7th death anniversary of former President and Bharat Ratna awardee Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Remembering him on this day, the Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot paid tribute to the missile man and called his simple living and visionary thinking as an inspiration. Furthermore, the Indian National Congress called him a great humanitarian and visionary. It is to be noted that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam became the 11th President of India in 2002 with the support of both ruling party Janata Party and the then opposition Indian National Congress. Seven more people died in Gujarat's Pudat district in the last 12 hours owing to consumption of toxic liquor. The death toll in the incident has reached 40. Reportedly, nearly 50 people are undergoing treatment in hospitals at Bhavnagar, Putat and Ahmedabad. Police of Putat and Ahmedabad filed 3 FIRs on Tuesday against nearly 20 culprits under sections 302, 328 and 120B of the Indian Penal Code. Sources have confirmed that almost 10 people have been arrested so far. The huge tragedy came to light on Monday morning as villagers of Rojit and nearby areas were referred to government hospitals at Putat Down and Barwala area due to deteriorating health conditions. Police probe revealed that some bootleggers mixed water with methyl alcohol or methanol and sold it to the villagers for Rs 20 per pouch. Forensic analysis also confirmed that people consumed methyl alcohol. Gujarat Home Department formed a 3-member committee to conduct a thorough investigation and submit report within 3 days. Police probe revealed that one person named Jayesh, aka Raju, had stolen 600 liters of methyl alcohol from a godown in Ahmedabad and sold it to his Putat-based cousin Sanjay for Rs 40,000 on July 25. Sanjay, despite knowing it was a chemical, sold it to the bootleggers who mixed it with water and sold it to the villagers. India is set to make its digital dream in villages a reality. In a significant step, the Union Cabinet has approved a Rs 26,316 crore project for providing 4G services in uncovered villages. While the state-owned Delco Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited will execute this project, it will be funded through the Universal Service Obligation Fund. Furthermore, the Union Cabinet also mentioned that through this project, the government is targeting 24,680 villages located in remote and difficult areas, which still have no 4G mobile services. Meanwhile, the second day of auction for 5G spectrum took place on Wednesday.
सर्वे करने से पता चला कि करीब करीब 25,000 विलेज ऐसे हैं जिसमें अभी भी नेटवर्क कनेक्टिविटी प्रोवाइड करने की ज़रूरत है। तो आज कैबिनेट ने इन 25,000 विलेजेस को कवर करने के लिए टोटल 26,316 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट अप्रूव किया है। 26,316 करोड़ 26,316 करोड़ का कंप्लीट एक पैकेज अप्रूव किया है, जो सैचुरेशन कवरेज के नाम से जाना जाएगा। सैचुरेशन कवरेज में
The arrival of monkeypox in India has put the government and health authorities on high alert. However, unlike COVID-19, for which development of a vaccine happened after a long wait, India is set to develop its vaccine for monkeypox at the earliest. This came after the Chief Executive Officer Adar Poonawala of Serum Institute of India on Tuesday stated that the institute is in talks with Novavax to develop a messenger RNA vaccine for monkeypox. Furthermore, he also mentioned that the institute is also planning to import some doses of Denmark-based Bavarian Nordics smallpox vaccine that can be useful if there is a larger monkeypox outbreaks in India. Meanwhile, India currently has 4 cases. Netizens have called for a boycott of online shopping platform Flipkart. This came after the platform was seen selling T-shirt merchandise of deceased actor Sushant Singh Rajput with caption "Depression is like drowning" printed on T-shirts. In addition, netizens were offended by the message and said that the late actor was not a depression patient. Instead, he was killed by the Bollywood mafia. Meanwhile, many have filed grievances with Flipkart. And with that, we wrap up English Prime Time. Thank you for staying with me. This is Chipen Kung signing off.
अरे तूने अभी तक कुछ किया ही नहीं।
अरे ये तो लो क्वालिटी टंकी है।
होशियारी मत दिखाओ, दुकानदार ने 5 साल की गारंटी दी है।
अरे 5 साल छोड़िए, इसका पानी पियेंगे ना तो बहुत जल्दी हम लोग पहुंचेंगे। अंदर का सर्विस प्लेन स्मूथ और